Hello everyone, and welcome to the QMS certification channel. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important documents in an ISO/IEC 27001 information security management system, the Statement of Applicability, also known as the SOA. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and leave your like on this video so you can receive future content about ISO standards, cybersecurity, governance, and certification best practices. Now let me ask you a question. If an auditor had only 5 minutes to evaluate whether an information security management system was truly implemented and could request only one document, which document do you think would provide the clearest overview of the entire system? Without question, it would be the Statement of Applicability, because the SOA is the document that translates the organization's security strategy into operational controls. It tells the auditor which controls are applicable, which controls are excluded, why those decisions were made, and whether those controls are actually implemented. In many ways, the SOA functions as a strategic map of the entire information security management system. So today, let's discuss how to build an effective statement of applicability and avoid some of the most common mistakes organizations make during ISO/IEC 27001 implementation. What is the SOA? The Statement of Applicability is a document containing all Annex A controls from ISO/IEC 27001. The organization must evaluate every control and determine whether the control is applicable, whether the control is excluded, and the justification for that decision. This is extremely important. Not every Annex A control will necessarily apply to every organization, and that is completely acceptable. ISO/IEC 27001 is risk-based. The applicability of controls depends directly on the organization's context, business activities, risk assessment, technological environment, and security objectives. That means the SOA must always be connected to the organization's risk assessment process. There is a direct relationship between identified risks and selected controls. If a control is considered applicable, the organization must demonstrate which risk it helps mitigate. And if a control is excluded, the organization must justify why that exclusion does not create unacceptable risk. This is why auditors pay so much attention to the SOA during certification audits. The SOA allows the auditor to understand how the organization designed its security strategy. It shows the logic behind the management system. What must be included in an effective SOA? A well-structured statement of applicability should contain, at minimum, all Annex A controls listed in the standard, applicability status for each control, justification for inclusion or exclusion, and implementation status. This last point is very important. Organizations often assume that every applicable control must already be fully implemented before the certification audit. That is not always the case. Some controls may still be partially implemented during the audit process. What matters is that the organization can demonstrate awareness of the gap, a defined implementation plan, and actions underway to complete the control. Transparency is critical. The auditor needs confidence that the organization understands its risks and is actively managing them. One of the biggest SOA mistakes. One of the most common mistakes organizations make is copying generic SOA templates from the internet. This creates a serious problem. A generic SOA rarely reflects the organization's real operational environment, and experienced auditors can identify this very quickly. For example, the justification may mention technologies the organization does not even use, or controls may be declared applicable without any relationship to identified risks. That weakens the credibility of the management system. Remember, the SOA is not simply a checklist, it is a strategic document. It must represent the organization's real security posture. Every justification should be technically coherent, risk-based, and aligned with the organization's operational reality. Why the SOA is so important. The Statement of Applicability is not only important during certification audits, it is also fundamental for maintaining the effectiveness of the information security management system itself. Because the SOA demonstrates how the organization protects confidentiality, how it preserves integrity, and how it ensures information availability, it connects governance decisions with operational security controls, and it helps leadership understand why security investments and controls are necessary. In practice, the SOA becomes one of the most strategic governance documents within the entire ISMS. Final recommendations. When developing your SOA, do not treat it as a bureaucratic requirement. Do not use generic justifications. Do not copy controls without understanding their purpose. Instead, align the SOA with your risk assessment. Ensure justifications reflect reality. Review controls carefully, and maintain consistency between risks, controls, and implementation status. A strong statement of applicability demonstrates management system maturity, and during an ISO/IEC 27001 audit, maturity is exactly what the auditor is looking for. Thank you for watching, and remember, the greater the awareness, the lower the risk. See you in the next video.